I really believe that storytelling saved my life when I was a little kid. I had a pretty miserable childhood growing up, and the way that I would escape was by reading books and, like, consuming media, and I just hope that what I'm able to do will bring joy into other people's lives. Like, if they're having a hard day, they can just watch a dubbed K-drama and hopefully with my voice, or, like, listen to a book and, just have a moment to forget about what's going on and just be able to relax.
Disinformation is spreading.
There will be a surprise
We only
outbreak
have
as
so
the
many
issue
beds.
of pandemic.
No
This is
social
not how I
distancing
thought
at
I would
all.
end
They
college.
said that they would
We didn't
express
know
their
it would be
concerns
this,
about the mask
drastic
supply.
so
Where's the
quickly.
mask? Where's the glove?
One expert says a second
Get
wave
away
is
from all of these
We all
people.
need some good news.
A message for all the healthcare workers out there.
Thank you.
If you're looking for hope tonight, raise your hand. If you feel alone and don't understand, if you're fighting the fight of your life, then stand.
From Santa Rosa, California, this is 19 Stories. I'm your host, Cheryl Halling. It's not often that I'll get to introduce a guest whose moniker is banana-brained and voice-trained. But joining me today is a woman who is the embodiment of quirkiness, versatility, and in her own words, a bit unhinged. From clown noses to stage and to your favorite streaming platforms, Yuan has covered a lot of ground. And that's saying something, given she's been in the entertainment industry just shy of 6 years, and in voiceover for 5 of those years. She's made audiences laugh and cry while pondering social biases through roles and characters she's played, whether it's in a packed house, on a TV set, or through your earbuds while narrating the Harper Collins audiobook Counterattacks at 30. An Asian American actor of Chinese, Taiwanese, and Korean heritage, Jo's career spans theater, television, voiceover, and comedy, and brings authenticity, wit, and heart to every role. She's trained in the Meisner technique, on-camera acting, clown, and sketch comedy, to long-form improv, as a graduate of the now-defunct Second City Conservatory in Hollywood. Her stage work includes performances at East West Players, IAMA Theatre, Artists at Play, and as a company member of Playground LA. As a voice actor, Jo's credits read like a streaming guide, an impressive list of dubbing credits, lead and recurring roles on Netflix, Disney+, Paramount+, and Amazon Prime and Nat Geo. In 2024, Jo was named one of 24 new digital audio narrators by Macmillan Audio, selected from over 350 applicants. Jo is a proud and active member of the Television Academy, the Asian American Theater Artists Collective, and the century-old Los Angeles Breakfast Club, to name a few. In addition, she is my fellow door builder in the Building Doors campaign. From stage to booth, Jo's work is a testament to the power of curiosity, craft, and connection. So let's welcome this unhinged woman by welcoming Yuan to 19 Stories.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello. Well, welcome. I should say, okay, well, welcome.
Oh
Welcome,
my
Jo.
gosh. Oh man, just hearing what I've done, I'm just like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. That did happen. My god, you make me sound so accomplished."
And you are, my dear. My gosh. For as I said, for being in the business 6 years, and, I mentioned your Building Doors
Mm,
podcast, which we're gonna touch on quite a bit because I was so blown away, and that's one of the reasons I invited you here. So,
thank
thank you so
you.
much.
Solid.
Uh, Solid. Oh my gosh, we're getting groovy now. Solid.
Oh, no.
Solid, man. I'm gonna take a sip of water. My throat's a little wonky today, and we'll jump right in. Do you have any questions, concerns, comments,
Ah,
celebrations, anything that you wanna share before we start?
not really. I'm curious about what's going to happen and, it'll be
I'm
what it'll be.
taking you down a dark and deserted highway. Well, you'll
Okay.
know when we get into it.
I think I've been in the biz for longer than 6 years, sadly.
Well, not sadly. Well, that's what we're gonna talk about. I'm going by what I've managed to pick up, but you're gonna unfold all of this deliciousness with your vivacious, effervescent self. So, first of all, let's talk about in your bio, the
Hmm.
phrase banana-brained and voice-trained. So, where did that term come from, and what's the story behind using bananas as part of your branding?
Oh my gosh. So, the banana things, actually is a bit twofold, double definition, I would say. It's kind of a common, I guess, thing for Asian Americans to be like, "Oh, I'm a banana," if they, like, grew up in the United States, and it just means yellow on the outside, white on the inside, and I actually didn't really super love that, but I do love, the image of a banana for some reason. So I just kinda took it. I was like, "Yeah," I mean, like, it's kinda hard, like, identity-wise, like, some people would say I'm whitewashed and some people will say I'm too Asian, so I just kinda wanted to, like, reclaim that for myself.
I
And
had never heard that term.
oh,
I had
really?
no, I had never heard that term, so that's an
Yeah.
education for me and anybody else who hasn't heard it, and, when you mention how you're either to this or to that, it's like, that just shows to go you goes to
Yeah.
show you that you just you can't please
You
everyone.
can't control other people's thoughts of you, so,
Mm-mm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that was one reason. I like the graphic, and I've been called a banana so many times in my life, and I did not like that. And the other thing is, the banana brain thing is I recently got diagnosed with ADHD within the last year.
Ah.
Um, so I thought it was, like, perfect. I'm a little scatterbrained. You'll hear it. Um, yeah,
That's
thought
probably what leads to your authenticity and uniqueness and your diversity because we are going to unwrap all of that. And I'm so glad you corrected me on that. You've been in the business over 6 years because when I'm reading everything that you've done, which we'll talk about, I'm like, how on earth has this person done this in 6 years? So there's a lot I want to cover in our time together. So let's begin where you grew up and what led you to such a diverse range of training from Meisner to improv to clown work, and how, if at all, those disciplines influence and shape all of your work.
oh, goodness, okay. One question at a time. I grew up
Yeah, I
in
know, I know. I know. Sorry. Now
I was
that I
gonna say
know that you're ADHS, like, no, that's the worst thing you
oh,
could
no,
say.
that's okay. It is what it is. Let me try to remember. So, I grew up in Orange County, born and raised, and I didn't really discover acting until, till college, I wanna say sophomore year, which is kinda late considering most people start when they're kids in Southern California, at least. And, as far as the diverse forms of training, I always felt very behind my peers while I was in college,
Mm,
and my university training wasn't, the greatest. It was more like a pipeline from just getting a bachelor's degree to going straight into getting an MFA or a grad school program, and I didn't think that was the best use of my time or my finances, frankly. So I remember when I was probably a senior, I just sat down and researched all of the MFAs of the top universities in the nation and made a giant unhinged spreadsheet of what they focused on, their curriculum, the syllabus, and kind of compiled it all together just to try to see if there were any major threads. And since Orange County is so close to Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is frankly has one of the best training facilities in the world for acting, I thought that I would try to find a LA equivalent to what I was seeing. So that led me to Meisner and also like to clown and on camera and everything else.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because, when I think of Orange County, I think of, and I'm sorry, I'm sure you hear this. I mean, I
Mm.
was born and raised in LA, so I feel like I can safely say this. You hear it from someone who what hasn't been, you're like, yeah, thanks a lot. But I think of Disney. And I
Ah, you're
mean,
not
that's not
wrong.
right. I mean, it's not a bad thing to think about, but it's not Los Angeles. So that's very cool that I can totally see you sitting down with that spreadsheet and being very detailed because that's one thing people think those with ADHD don't have focus. In fact, that's just the opposite. When you focus on something, you're hyper focused,
It's a lot. Yeah.
very detailed. So let's go back
Hmm.
to 2020.
Okay.
COVID hits.
Yes.
We're in lockdown. And like the rest of the stage and on camera actors across the globe, you're not able to perform in your usual mediums. And I know I'm skipping a lot from your training
Mm.
to stage and all that, which we're going to get into that. But you decide you're going to pursue voiceover work in
Mhm.
spite of the fact that you were told as a child that, and I quote, and this is from your Building Doors podcast as well, you had the worst sounding voice. Your voice was ugly, and to basically shut up. And you weren't encouraged to pursue, obviously, voiceover, but you give a shout out to Voiceover Camp for giving you the courage to take classes for, as you say, exploration versus expectation. First of all, pure transparency here. I
Mm.
wasn't familiar with Voiceover Camp.
Mm.
So I'm curious why out of all the online classes and coaches you could have worked with, what attracted you to them?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I think voiceover camp kind of started during the pandemic as well.
Ah,
And
okay.
so that might be why you haven't heard of them before. So they're fairly new. And I researched the founder, and we had a lot of similar colleagues or training. We actually both went to the same on-camera training coach, and
Really?
that's how I found out about it. I mean, we didn't meet over there, but that's how I found out about it. And then I kept hearing people saying, "Oh my gosh, like she makes it so fun, so easy, so accessible." And it was just like during lockdown, there was a lot of time, and people were panicking, including me. I crashing out daily. So I just decided to take a chance and take a class and see if it was something that I was interested in, not thinking of it as a career path, but something to explore.
So interesting because, that comment alone could have crushed someone to say because and that's another thing that attracted me to have you come here and talk a little bit more about your experience because I think I shared with you just through our chats that I've experienced that too. I've experienced people
Mhm.
speaking into my life in ways that could have been crushing, but we learn as you did to take that and coin the phrase pivot and do something really positive with that. And I did check out Voiceover Camp. They're very cool. I kind of like
Yeah.
their the whole way they've set up their camp,
Yeah, it's very
literally and
cute.
figuratively. It's very, very cute. And the woman, I'm sorry, what is her name?
Kritsia Bajos.
Yeah, she's quite impressive.
She is.
As just a side note, who was the on-camera coach that you went to?
It was John Rosenfeld Studios that we both
Ah,
went to. Yeah.
that's what are the chances? That's so cool. So you have all this wonderful stage experience. You've obviously done a lot of training on camera, stage, and you go from not having any experience in VO to taking the classes at the voiceover camp
Mhm.
and jumping into one of the most difficult genres in VO, that of dubbing and doing audio description for television shows. How on earth did that happen?
Oh my goodness. I truly don't know how that happened either.
Okay, then, moving on.
I think so. Well, the trend is for live action dubbing is that they want to bring people with authentic backgrounds to be able to voice the characters on screen. And with the rise of Korean dramas in American entertainment, especially with Squid Games, oh my gosh, that blew
Mm,
everything up. So that really created a larger, what am I trying to say? A larger playing field for Asian American actors to be able to come in and be able to work. So I'm grateful that someone heard me and was like, "Hey, I think you could do this." I have to admit, my first session was terrifying. I thought I was going to get fired.
why did you think you were gonna get
I
fired?
mean, it's like, of course, it's like something that I've never done before, and my brain just automatically goes, "Oh, yeah, well, they just chose me because I'm lucky, but they're gonna see that I'm a fraud. It's not gonna work out." And also dubbing is strange and because there's not a lot of ways that you can take classes or train just because a lot of places don't have the technology or voice cue, the program. So it's like you just kind of get thrown into it and you have to figure it out really fast.
Yeah, you do it's interesting because there is a school up here that I went to a couple of years ago where they did have a dubbing night.
Hmm.
I'm like, "Oh, I've got this."
It's a
Oh
lot of
my
cold
gosh.
reading.
Talk about being humbled on the spot. It was hard, and that's why when I read this about you and, started learning, more about you, I'm like, "Yeah, she went from the pan into the fire," but you're right, it's one of those things you just have to do because it's all about timing.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that I learned how to play piano as a kid. Oh, that's another thing, like, Asian parents make their kids learn piano or violin, and I'm grateful that I learned that as a child so I would be able to at least get some sort of internal timing to be able to match,
Mm.
what's going on screen. And actually, Meisner training has been really, really helpful for dubbing, which is really surprising.
In what way?
Just like, uh, let's see. Are you familiar with repetition or
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, blue shirt, blue shirt. But after it's just like the same way to focus, instead of focusing on the eyeballs of a different person while you're repeating, it's like you have to focus on the person who's on screen and their breath and their posture and their body movements and the way that they say things. So it's a lot of the same sort of focus that I learned in Meisner that I'm now applying to dubbing, if that makes any sort of sense.
Oh, yeah. No, it does, and that
Mm.
means, your observation skills have to be really keen
Mm.
because all of what you just said may sound easy, but it's repetition or mirroring someone is harder than we think.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting that you then move into one of the second hardest genres, and that's audiobooks. And you recently narrated Counterattacks at 30
Mhm.
for Harper Collins,
Mhm.
and then named a Macmillan Audio Digital New narrator. And first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, and I'm curious, can you tell our listeners what that program is and how that happened? As I understand, you need to be in New York in order to be part of the
Oh,
program.
okay. There's 2 types of programs that Macmillan has. So
Ah,
one is
okay, I
in
didn't know.
person in New York and one is virtual for everyone else, and, it's, held on Zoom and other sessions.
From my understanding, it was all in person, so that's very cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should apply if you want to.
I would love to, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
Right
sorry.
now, it's all about
Oh,
you.
shucks,
Okay.
okay. Um, Gosh, what do I say about that? I just sometimes I apply for things and I don't know what they are, and I hope for the best, and if I get in, that's wonderful, and if I don't, I don't remember, I don't remember anyway. Uh, that's kinda how I applied to Building Doors. I was like, "I don't know what this is. This sounds cool. Let me just, send an application," and, they called me. And it was pretty much the same process for the Macmillan new narrators.
Tell people who don't know what it means to be one of 350 people picked. What are you doing in the program?
Oh. So in the program, they actually, had a few of the producers come and speak to us in kind of like a discussion, and then they gave us samples that they thought would fit our voice.
Mm.
So, we were actually live directed, and, they had an engineer kind of test our remote setup. We recorded it in our own homes with a live engineer on the other side and a live director on the other side, and we just came away with 2 produced, mastered samples that we would be able to use to pitch ourselves to other publishing houses, and they also put us on their internal roster as well, so that's what it means.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
You just answered my next question
Oh,
was, what does this recognition mean to you? But for them to put you on their house roster, that's like a dream come true. Not only
mm.
will we produce some demo samples for you to use, but now you're part of our now, have you received any work since then?
Not from them, surprisingly. Not yet, not yet. We're saying
Not
not
yet.
yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But actually, the producer from Harper Collins told me that one of the reasons that she felt comfortable, hiring me to narrate Counterattacks at 30 was because I went through the Macmillan program, and Harper Collins doesn't have a diversity program. So she was looking at people who went through Macmillan or Penguin Random House, just to see what they were doing. Yeah.
And there you go. How cool is that?
Mhm.
That's how one thing kind of leads into the other and builds on that. And so you've performed with notable theater companies like
Mhm.
East West Players and
Mhm.
IAMA Theatre.
IAMA.
And
Uh,
how do you say it
oh,
again?
sorry, it's IAMA. It took me years to figure it
IAMA.
out too. I'm like, "Hmm?"
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for correcting me. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I always IAMA. Okay, IAMA. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is good. You're throwing
Yeah.
down some education for me. I appreciate
Oh,
this.
goodness. Oh, oops.
Uh-oh, we can't let that happen. Alright, so, given stage was your first love, curious what drew you to it in the first place, and how does it
Mm.
feed your other work?
Oh, what drew me to the stage? The bug, as they say. Well, how do I say this? Did I mention this in the Building Doors podcast? I might have. Sorry.
I don't know.
Well, when I was in college, I was really shy, and I had 0 public speaking skills. It was really bad, to the point where, in the middle of a speech, I would run out and cry and just sob
Oh.
in the bathroom. I was so shy, I was so scared, and a part of me was very determined, and I told myself, "This cannot happen. This is extreme, and I have to get over this." And somehow that turned into taking acting classes, and I got the bug, and it was just, crazy exposure therapy until I stopped doing that. So it was through trying to get over my stage fright to become a better public speaker, to taking acting classes, to being like, "Oh, I actually really enjoy storytelling and would love to do this as a profession." I can't really explain why. I really do think that acting is more of a calling than a choice.
Yeah, and so interesting that being a shy, and by the way, be a little gracious with yourself because they say that public speaking is one of the most terrifying things for most people to do.
Truly.
So, no wonder you ran out crying. There's a lot of people who I've heard they faint, they throw up. I mean, all kinds of things that people do when it comes to getting up and speaking. And the fact that you took that, and again, to coin the phrase pivot, you did. You like, okay, I'm gonna get beyond this fear and do something with it. And how beautiful that you had an outlet where you conquered that and it led into where you are now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't it's so interesting to know the little bit I know of you through Building Doors. And I will have information in the show notes about Building Doors because it really is just a beautiful campaign. That another shout out to Christy Harst. I've been giving her a lot lately, but she deserved it.
Oh.
But it's brought some people like you and I together, and people from really all over the globe to support and encourage one another. So, curious if you prepare differently for each of the genres you work in, and what skills do you find overlap into those disciplines, and
Hmm.
what feels completely different?
Oh gosh. I mean, yes, the preparation is different depending on the medium. And depending on the genre, of course. I mean, I feel like theater and audiobooks are actually quite similar in the way that it's long form storytelling. So you get like a
Mm.
long time to like sit down and prep and read the script or the book and really dive into breaking down characters and intentions and themes and everything. The biggest difference between theater and audiobooks is theater, you have to memorize, which which I don't love. I gotta say that's the biggest thing that I do not like about theater and on camera work is we have to memorize. I would say on camera is actually not as similar to voiceover, just because I feel like when you're acting on camera, everything shows in your eyes
Mhm.
as you're connecting with the scene partner or the camera as a scene partner. But I guess in voiceover, you connect with your voice and through the mic. That's your only way. So what am I trying to say? I guess like the technology of a camera and a mic is quite similar in the way that they capture your essence, and the proximity of both mic and camera is closer to you, so you don't have to go as far as you would in theater. Does that make
Yes. Oh,
sense?
that's good. Yeah, and the other thing with difference between audiobooks and stage is theater acting is in audiobooks, you're doing all the parts. Unless you're part of a group ensemble, you're doing all the characters.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, that's one thing about voiceover that I found, like, both freeing and a little isolating is we're doing a lot of it ourselves in our boots. We don't see anyone.
Yeah, and then people wonder why you're out talking to yourself when you're out in the real world.
Yeah.
So, with credits across Netflix,
Mm.
Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, et cetera, do you have a favorite voiceover project or character that still sticks with you that you wanna
Oh.
do more of?
Oh, goodness. That's a great question. None that come to mind in particular. Not I can't name any names right now. But what I have noticed throughout my dubbing work lately is that I get called in for a lot of crying roles lately.
I heard one of the ones you
Oh my
posted.
gosh. I'm
I
just
wanted to comfort you.
no, I think it's hysterical because we don't know what we're cast as until we get into the room for dubbing. So we
Oh, I
don't
didn't know that. Really?
yeah, we don't
That I
have
didn't know.
yeah,
Huh.
we don't have any information about the show or the character or plot line, so it's just like you come in and then they're just like, "Yeah, so this is what you're gonna be doing today." You watch it once or twice and then you go. And the director gives you context, hopefully. And lately it's just been a lot of like, "Yep, all right, so this person's crying, and I'm like, okay, time to lock in. Ugh.
Little do they know you just came out of your therapy, an hour of therapy, getting, in a really good centered place, and you go into your dubbing
It was like,
session. They're like,
oh
"Okay, now you're
boy.
gonna cry."
It's kind of therapeutic though. It's like a release, but also
I
I'm just like, "Oh,
would
good
imagine.
God, I'm crying again. Okay."
And you're getting paid for it. Oh my gosh. How many people could get paid for crying? It's like you get your release, you get, the final icing on the cake from your therapy session, and you get a check.
So
Oh my
nice.
gosh.
Yes. The
So nice,
trifecta.
I'll cry twice.
I'll cry anytime.
Anytime. So earlier I mentioned that you're a member of the Asian American Theater Arts
Mm,
Artists Collective and the Television Academy, which
yes.
woohoo!
Woohoo!
In addition to those, you're a member of the Coalition of Dubbing Actors, National Association of Voice Actors, Professional Audiobook Narrators Association. How, again, in such a short period of time, have you become a member of so many prestigious organizations? And can you share which one or ones have had the most influence on you and support your growth as an artist?
Hmm. That's a great question. Um, well, as far as joining things, I'm a big joiner. Um
Okay, well, that makes sense.
And I think it's because, like, when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a Girl Scout, but couldn't because of, like, time, and financial reasons, and I always wanted badges, so as an adult, I'm like, I love collecting, like, little credits, little groups, so
Mm.
yeah, stickers, pins, everything. So I think that's what really influenced me to, like, go out and, apply and join all these organizations. But I will say probably the ones that I'm most focused on right now is, APA and TV Academy. APA was actually the reason why I got my first audiobook because they have their own breakout sessions for new narrators that you kind of apply via lottery, and it's
Mm,
just like you get
okay.
to you get to meet a producer by chance and read it for them out loud, and that is how I met the producer for Counterattacks at 30. So I have a lot to be grateful for them, and they also have a yearly conference called APAC, and I went for the first time this year in New York City and met.
Was it a blast?
Oh my gosh, it was so fun and so hectic, and so overstimulating at the same time. I would definitely do it again, but now that I know what to expect, better prepared. So yeah, I would say APA is definitely I have a lot to be grateful for. TV Academy, I joined because I was at a SAG screening and, they had a reception, so that means food, and I was just yeah, I'm so
Any
serious.
say no more. Any actor, food,
Yes.
big satchel, take
Buffet?
home.
Oh my gosh. No, truly. I mean, we're not allowed to, but, like, oh my
I
gosh.
know, but we all did. I
Yeah.
mean,
So I was just, like, waiting in line, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so fun, like, I wish I could do this more often." He's like, "Well, if you qualify, join the TV Academy." And I'm like, "What's that?" I thought that you had to wait to get a letter like you do from SAG-AFTRA to be able to qualify for the TV Academy. No. That is not the
really?
case. They don't tell you if you qualify, you have to go and search on your own volition. So I went and I was like, "Oh my gosh, with my dubbing work, I actually qualified. This is crazy." I love screenings. I love FYC
I do
events.
too. I know, I do
Oh
too.
my gosh, and it's been so fun. I had a blast through FYC season, just getting exposed to all kinds of shows I've never heard of. And, uh, free food and alcohol is always nice.
I gotta tell you, when you were talking about beverages,
Yes.
that you'd like to you didn't say any brands, but
Mm.
we've referenced your Building Doors podcast numerous times, and we're gonna talk about it yet again, and I digress, but when you were talking about the different beverages that you would like to voice for and how when, the lockdown happened, you made sure that you went to Costco to get your case of hard sparkling water, I'm like,
Hard seltzer, yeah.
hard seltzer. If that doesn't get her a booking, I don't know what
I
will, but
mean
so, because you shared some really powerful and vulnerable things on that particular episode, at the end of that podcast, you made an invitation to anyone that would like to talk more about how much you love being an Asian American. And that's one of the reasons I asked you to be here with
Mm,
me today, because you have this one-woman show coming up, Something Old, Something New, Something Tesla, Something True, which I wanna ask you about the title,
Mhm.
which you wrote, and you'll be performing. I'm gonna just give a plug because hopefully we're gonna get this episode out before then. Sunday, September 21st, as the first of the Amplify performance series for the 25-26 season, and it's being directed by Giovanni Ortega.
Yes.
I understand this is an autobiographical piece based on historical truths you've been trying to get your parents to share with you, but they refuse to. So, if you will, please tell us more about the piece and what motivated you to turn this into a one woman show.
Well, this was again an application. It started off as an application that I applied for and forgot about. So
So
yeah.
wow, you are a powerhouse
Oh
though
my
for
gosh.
kinda bringing things into your life. Just apply. Here, I'll send you some of my applications that
Truly.
I bet for things that I wanna
I would
do.
love to apply for you. Why not? Why not?
You have the power, girlfriend.
East West Players has a program that is sponsored by Amy Hill. Thank you, Amy. She got her start doing a solo play of her own at East West Players. So now she sponsors a cohort of, I think, like 6 people to try to develop their own solo plays. And that's what I applied to. And that's how I met Gio in the first place. Throughout the process, me and my cohort, we kind of developed our own slots, and we were able to write with Alice Tuan, who was our writing facilitator, and then block it and perform it with the help of Gio Ortega for a 40-minute presentation at East West Players. And as I was writing it, I thought to again apply. Why not to the Curtis Theater's Amplify program to see if it was something that other people would be interested in seeing. And they're just like, yeah, come on in. So I'm very grateful for that. Seriously, apply for things is the takeaway. You never know what's gonna happen.
Well,
Um
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so
exactly.
it's not my quote, but, yeah, but that's the one actually, that's what I have above my desk here in
You
my studio.
really? That's
Oh, yeah.
wonderful. Oh my
So I'm
gosh.
listening to you going, "Well, of course, you gotta apply so you can get it." Please tell us what something old, something new, something Tesla, something true. Where did the title come
Ah,
from?
okay, so my initial pitch for the solo play was just asking my parents about their background because they're from different countries. My dad is from Korea and my mom is from China. And they moved to California. And they would be kind of evasive and not really want to share that much about their personal life from before they were my parents. So I was always curious. And throughout the writing process, as I was asking questions, I got this uh, um, uncomfortable text from my mother. And it was just like, "Hi, Joanne. I was."
Oh,
Yes, that's my
okay.
government name, by the way, Joanne. Nobody
Okay.
calls me that
Alright.
except for her. "Hi, Joanne. I would love to buy you a Tesla, only if you get married." So, yes, yes.
Oh.
So the show kind of it kind of went off the rails, into what it means for me to, you know, look into getting married and what that would mean for, my own relationship and my relationship with my family and my parents. Uh,
Wow,
yeah.
that is so interesting, and I can see why you've created this. It's probably cathartic for you to be able to share some of these things, and given your content is based on your family's experience with your parents and also as Asian Americans, and you have a content advisory.
Mm.
Some depictions of hate speech and racism may not be suitable for all audiences.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, are you concerned your message might not land in the way you intend it to?
Not particularly. Well,
Okay.
my parents live in Orange County for a reason,
Mm.
and I direct quote them. So, hence the yeah, yeah. They
Okay.
have interesting views.
That's why you wrote this. Now, are you currently in Orange County or you're
Oh, no,
in
no,
Los Angeles?
no, no,
Whereabouts?
I'm in Los Angeles proper.
You
I
are.
I have
Okay.
not been in Orange County for a while or lived there for a while. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've touched on this a little bit earlier. regarding your work in comedy, drama, and everything in between. And do you feel that you talked about opportunities opening up for Asian American actors, but do you feel there's a genre that is more ethnically diverse and offers more opportunities?
Um, hmm, it's a great question. I'm not hmm, I'm not exactly sure how to answer that.
Well,
Hmm.
you just answered it. I mean, you touched upon that you felt that dubbing was available to you because they want when you go into a dubbing session, they're really trying to pay homage and respect to the actual
Mhm.
culture that you're dubbing, right? Because
Right.
people can tell if you're faking it.
Oh,
Um,
oh, that sorry, that just reminded me. When I was getting my degree in theater, I did feel that there weren't, as many opportunities as I would like in theater, and that's why I pivoted to on camera. Yeah, in the
okay.
first place. Um, yeah, I just didn't feel a connection to, a lot of the classics, and I just didn't see a lot of Asian American actors on stage or on Broadway. Ugh, um, and that's still an ongoing issue.
Hopefully that'll change with the one about the robots falling in
Maybe
love.
happy ending. Well, I
Maybe happy
mean,
ending.
there's so much controversy going on with that, like, the whole Asian theater community is very upset right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
and how so?
Well, just because, like, they replaced the lead male actor with someone who isn't Asian American, so it's kind
Ah,
of like a
okay.
erasure. If they brought the story over from Korea and, had 2 Asian leads and then ended up, replacing the male lead actor with someone who's white, it kinda changes the
Well, I
story.
sure, and I can understand. I'd be angry too.
Mm,
I didn't know that. So, we're learning all kinds of things here, and that's why I wanted you to come and talk about your experience and talk about your culture because it's all about educating. I think right now, and I know I promised you I wouldn't talk about politics, but I think one of the things people misunderstand when they hear about diversity, equity, and inclusion, they
mhm,
don't understand the importance of how it plays in our overall American experience because people forget.
mhm.
You don't hear the term melting pot much anymore.
Yeah,
We are a true melting pot, and if you take out any one of the ingredients of a beautiful dish, you are erasing, which is what's happening,
mhm.
you are erasing the contribution. So thank you for educating me on that. I
Yeah.
did not know that, and of course, who wouldn't be upset? So, what advice would you give to other actors and voice artists looking to build a similarly multifaceted career, such as the one you
Oh my
have?
gosh, apply for everything is the first one. Constant refrain.
Oh my
Send and
gosh,
forget. I mean,
send it and forget it.
isn't that what
Yes,
we hear
yeah,
about
yep,
auditions? Same
yep.
goes for applications for programs. Send and forget. You never know what's gonna happen.
I love it. I
Yeah.
still love it's funny you say that because,
Mm.
as a kid, I used to enter all kinds of contests, and
Right.
I wasn't even 18 yet, and we'd win them, and I couldn't keep them because I wasn't 18. Yes,
No.
but I have won things that I forgot that I entered, and I'm like, "Oh, that's delightful. What
Oh,
a surprise that is."
like
So
radio sweepstakes? I've always
oh,
wondered.
yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, in fact, I will share this quick story with you because
Please.
we have a couple more questions before we wrap, but 10 years ago when I was living back in LA, my husband and I were there, and there was a radio station that gave away Eagles tickets for their final
Ooh.
tour, and it was gonna be at the Forum.
Ooh.
And so I entered to win. I won, but they sent my tickets but didn't put the apartment number, and I happened to live in an apartment unit that had 70 units.
No.
Never saw those tickets. So
That's
someone had
devastating.
my sweet tickets to go see the final tour of the Eagles at the
Oh
Forum.
my
I know,
god.
I know,
That's
I
bad
know,
karma on them, though. Oh,
I
that's
know, I know.
devastating.
Bad mojo.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so if you could narrate the life story of any historical or fictional figure, who would it be and why?
Oh, huh. Hmm. Thinking.
That's okay.
Historical figure.
Or
Gosh.
fictional, or it
Or
could be a fictional, be
fictional.
someone that you maybe a animated character that you've always thought,
Oh,
"Oh, I would like to
goodness.
do that."
I mean, like, there's 2 names that come immediately to mind that I'm trying to find biographies for. Let's see. The first one is I just borrowed a book about, TR Roosevelt's daughter, Alice Roosevelt. because
Mm.
she's kind of insane. She had a pet snake named Emily Spinach, um, because she was as green as spinach and as thin as her aunt Emily. Apparently she was like too wild to handle. Um,
I love it. I love it.
so
How intriguing. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So that's one person that immediately came to mind, and I have to read more about her. And the second person that comes to mind is her name is Hazel Ying Lee, and she was one of the first women and Chinese American pilots during World War II. And I thought that was really fascinating, especially since, World War II was a lot of anti Japanese rhetoric. So having a Chinese American in the military, that must have been really interesting to navigate. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt right now.
No, you're
Um,
not. That's why I asked you, and
yeah.
I love that because, first of all, what must that have been like for her?
Yeah.
And secondly, there's all these women of different cultures who contributed so much to World War II that we were never taught about in school.
Mhm.
And so for you to wanna shine a light and bring her life forward because I can't even imagine the discrimination she dealt with,
Mhm.
and yet she's fighting for our country.
Yeah.
So you've touched on some things that are, vulnerable and a little bit of your heartache, if you will. So I'm curious what makes you hopeful.
What makes me hopeful? Oh gosh, I haven't thought about that in such a long time. Um, hmm. I mean, I hope that what we do makes an impact, first of all. I really believe that storytelling saved my life when I was a little kid. I had a pretty miserable childhood growing up, and the way that I would escape was by reading books and, like, consuming media. And I just hope that what I'm able to do will bring joy into other people's lives. Like, if they're having a hard day, they can just watch a dubbed K-drama and hopefully with my voice, or, like, listen to a book and, just have a moment to forget about what's going on and just be able to relax and,
That's
think of
beautiful.
a better world, hopefully.
The fact that you were able to take your upbringing and transform that into something lovely that not only helped you get beyond that, but also I imagine will help others because that is the one beautiful thing about music or theater or any of the arts is that it is transformative.
Yeah.
So, is there something else you'd like to talk about as it relates to this time in your life?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Well, you can get back to me on that. That's that.
Oh gosh. I'm just like, "How much of this are you gonna edit out?" I'm, like, nervous now, like, "Ooh, these are great questions," and I'm like, "Oh, no.
Well, I could
Ah!"
ask you some crappy questions. What'd you have for
No, I'm just like,
breakfast?
"Oh gosh, like, what am I gonna sound dumb?" Um, this has been really lovely. Yeah,
I'm so glad. I'm so
yeah.
glad.
One more piece of advice I think for, like, artists is, that I've always tried to hold true to is just, like, follow the direction of your fear, because great things
Mm.
happen if you just, like, go for it. You never know, you never know. Yeah.
The tagline for my podcast, 19 Stories from Fear to Hope. That's it,
Oh my
is
god.
moving from that fear into hope and letting it fuel you as opposed to defeat you. And if there was a soundtrack to your life, what would be on
Oh
it?
my gosh. Ah! When I'm buffering or when I'm, like, stuck in the middle of a task, I do hum the Doug theme song a lot. I'm a millennial, whatever. I'm
Oh,
a 90s. So it's like, do 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 do. Um, I hum that so often, so I think Doug is the soundtrack to my life. Yeah.
well, that I'm glad you didn't say Baby Shark, so there you
Oh
go.
my gosh. Ooh.
Uh,
Ugh. Now that's gonna be stuck in my head. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome for that earworm. Joe Yuan,
Yes.
thank you for sharing your journey, your humor, and your insight with me today. And to our listeners, I'll have all of Joe's info in the show notes. So to be sure to follow her work across all your favorite platforms. You never know whether you'll see her in your living room, hear her in your earbuds, or catch her live on stage. Thank you, Joe, for joining me today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd also like to thank the following news outlets for the use of their clips: BBC, PBS, Now This, UNESCO, and Some Good News. Theme music used with permission by Joel and Luke Smallbone, otherwise known as the group for King and Country. If you'd like to offer feedback or a story idea, email me at 19stories@soundsatchelstudios.com, via my website at cherylhalling.com, or follow me on Instagram at cherylhallingvo. I look forward to sharing more stories on the next episode of 19 Stories from Fear to Hope. Until then, stay healthy and hopeful.
Dangerous. Together with our differences, together we are bolder, braver, stronger.